What's going on, everybody? It's Pale Free. This is the Red Sea Reefer 250. Got the wave action going on. But before we get into that, let's take a look at this real quick.
Hey guys, do me a favor and go over to Brian's Aquariums. Give him a subscribe real quick. Check out his videos. He does a lot of videos covering a bunch of different topics at the moment. He's got an awesome cube set up. Link is in the description below.
So as long as I've had the Tunze power heads, I bought a cable for them and I was running them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I realized, sorry about the finger there, but if you do auto adjust, it'll go through like 10, 20 seconds worth of pulses. You basically have the power on 100%, the pulse on 50%, and the power down here off. Yeah, I'm missing the knob there, so I have to use a screwdriver for that, which is pretty annoying, but oh well. So you hit select and it goes to auto adjust. It gives you 3 seconds before it starts going through the pulses, and they start off, you know, like every second, and it's like every third second, or like, I don't know. I don't know the true time frame behind all of them. But the one thing that's interesting is you can see the pump on the left, the green lights stay constant, and the pump on the right, they flash. Although you can see the two dials on the top are flashing blue, and that's the pulse. And you can see every once in a while they do like anti-sync, and then they're like synced up. So I think that there's an issue with this controller. That's what I think. And I've already reached out to Tunze on it, so we'll just kind of see where they go from that. But pretty cool, because I really like the standing wave and the swaying that you get with the wave action. So was very excited to learn that. There's my crown and jewel diatom rock on the top. Now, ironically enough, it doesn't show up nearly as bad on my phone versus what it really is. So, look at the Ghani. Got the flow going back and forth. And I also did upgrade. I say upgrade. I had this laying in the garage, but this air pump for bubble scrubbing, and I do need to get a check valve for that. So, what I'm about to do is pull the Radions off of the tank and get them real nice and cleaned up. There, yeah, you can see some salt creep around the lens here. And then I'm also going to speak just a little bit about Mobius, which Mobius is new, Ecotech's new platform of controlling items. Right now I'm using the Reeflink, but I want to just touch base on Mobius. So let's get the Radions off of the tank and cleaned up. So first things first, I'm going to turn them off because these lenses get really hot and I don't want to touch it and burn myself. And also, if you're new to LEDs, the last thing you want is to have that LED laying on a towel on the floor on your couch and turn it on, because by default when you first turn it on, it turns on at 100% and it will burn your couch. I think 915 Mang burnt his couch with some LEDs, but they get hot really quick. So I don't want to burn myself. So we're gonna unplug them, which is just the easier thing to do at the moment. And I want to start taking apart this bracket here, which this bracket looks complicated, but it's not. And I've spoke about this in many live streams, in many videos. Right now it's just filthy, covered in dust. And the fans don't run on these at all because I don't have them cranked up high enough. So all I'm doing right now is just PM and preventative maintenance on the lights. So if you remember or don't remember, this is just a bracket that I bought and screwed into the extruded aluminum. So, pretty easy. And I do have the screen top still on the tank because I don't want to drop anything into the water. My light, most importantly, but any screws, I don't want to drop anything into the water if I can help it anyway. So what was that, 60 seconds or so? Taking the lights off. Not bad. All right. Now that I have the lights off the tank, I'm not going to force you to go over or watch me untangle all of the wires, but I'm going to move them over to the countertop right now. Now that we're off of the tank, I got some essentials here. I'll take this outside and blow the lights out to get them cleaned up. Got some glass cleaner here. A couple microfiber cloths. But the top of them, it's hard to see, but there is quite a bit of dust on the top of them. So my first task is taking these covers off. And there's something that I want to show you while I'm in here. So give me 1 second here. And if you don't know, salt creep and the dirty lens will cut down on par. How much? We probably won't ever notice it. But, if you don't have your equipment on a semi cleaning routine, it's probably good to get it there. And truth be told, I should probably do this twice a year, and I'm probably doing it once a year if I'm honest. So I'll probably should be using a different screwdriver as well. I'll show you something also. So on these lights, they have the micro USB plug, and the way that they're shipped is on the top, you can see there's a black cover there. On the bottom, it's missing, and I accidentally bumped it one day. It fell into the tank, and that was the end of it. I don't have a clue. It's in the tank somewhere. I don't have a clue, but it is what it is. So what I wanted to show you, again, this is a Gen4 XR15. This is the RF chip, and this communicates with the WXM module if you're using the Neptune Apex, the Reeflink, and Mobius. And Mobius is the new platform. Again, same thing here. RF chip. This is what allows you to communicate to either third-party controllers or the EcoSmart environment. The reason why I'm showing you this is because some older versions have the green RF chip built in. You can buy the black RF chip from Ecotech, so don't worry. As long as your light or pumps, for that matter, accept an RF chip, you can always buy these and swap these out. And I believe they just set in here. There's no screws or anything holding them in. So just like that, folks, you would just pop it out whenever you got your new one. You would open your light up if your light's what you're upgrading and reinstall. So pretty simple process. So I need to get a couple more tools. I'm not going to bore you with this whole process. I'm going to get everything cleaned up and get it put back onto the tank. At this point, you can see I got some of my famous glass cleaner sprayed on everything, just to help me get fingerprints and the dust and whatnot off of it. Got the lenses here, and everything's super simple to take apart. I actually bought this a long time ago, and it's just got a bunch of different adapters in there. And if you don't have tools, what I would suggest is if your parents or your wife, husband, kids, whatever, buy you things for birthdays, Christmas, yada, 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 have them buy tools. I always take tools. I don't care what the brand is. Tools, give them to me. So just a tip. These little tool kits will save you all kinds of time. Something else I thought about since I did show you guys that I'm gonna use this electronic duster. You always want to be careful to not blow this fan, just because the air pressure coming out of here is going to far exceed what this fan can really do. So what I'll do whenever I go outside is I'll hold it in place and then I'll just blow air around it, because I definitely don't want to spin them up faster than what they're intended to do. Now, truth be told, if you do harm a fan, they're relatively inexpensive and they're easy to swap out. So the good thing about these lights is that if you ever have an issue, like with the fan, or if you need to swap out the chip, if you crack a lens or something somehow, they're all swappable. So the LED layout on here, pretty sweet. So yeah, I was just thinking about that and thought I wanted to share it. While I was outside, I felt my finger go over some of these LEDs here, which isn't the end of the world, but I am going to make sure that I wipe it down real good with a microfiber cloth just to get any of my grease off of the lights there. Going through all this trouble, the last thing that I want is to have any of my finger grease on any of the LEDs and potentially affect power. I mean, all this boils down to, am I going to notice it? Probably not, but just a word of advice. And I knew it as soon as I did it. I ran my finger across one, so I will for sure go through there and clean every one of them individually. The lights are now mounted back up. Unfortunately, we ran out of some zip ties, so I need to get a couple zip ties to tie the wiring up. I did change some of the rockscape. I flipped this rock upside down. This piece was over here. I don't love that decision just yet, but I would really like to get this piece down like over here maybe, or over here. I just don't want to block this big cave here. So I'm not really sure how this is going to pan out. I am bubble scrubbing because I have my arm in the tank, and it's something that CJ does. He says, hey, if my arm's in the tank, I need to bubble scrub afterwards, get all that crap up out of the tank. So yeah, I'm not in love with this piece, and I may move it back over here. I'm not really sure, but I may even take it out of the tank, because this is about 40 pounds of the KFC Life Rock, and I like the open sand bed issue that's going on. So I moved the A-cans up, and heck, that may be just too high for them. I moved the scalimia up. I wanted to get everything I could off of the sand bed, so we'll just have to see how this works from here. So I'm going to cut this off now. As always, I appreciate you following along. Be sure to check out the website at pelfrey.net. Follow me on Instagram at pelfreysreef, and I'll catch you on the next one.